is the murder of Amie Harwick. Amie Nicole Harwick was born on May 20th, 1981 in Sellerville, Pennsylvania to Tom and Penny Harwick. The couple had adopted Amie from she was a baby, and she was so beloved and cherished by them. Amie would grow up into being a smart, super intelligent, and witty woman, so much so that she became the beloved sex therapist for the Hollywood stars. She had a master's from Pepperdine University and a PhD in human sexuality. Things was going so well for Amie and her career, and she even managed to find some kind of luck in love for a short time. She was engaged shortly to comedian Drew Carey, but the couple called off their engagement in mid-2018. Amie and Drew remained friends and said that the split was amicable. On February 15, 2020, Amie was found underneath the balcony of her Los Angeles home and died after being taken to the hospital. The initial investigation found that she had been strangled and thrown from the third floor of her home after a fight. According to Amie's family, she dedicated her life and career to helping women succeed. She created and ran a group called Foxy Feminists that helped women local to Los Angeles connect with each other for job opportunities and support. Amie's family also stated that she was a model, but also had a passion for being behind the cameras too, having aspiration to be a professional photographer. Amie's family was heartbroken over her death and all the aspirations and dreams that she had not accomplished and that she wouldn't be able to anymore. On Valentine's Day 2020, Amie woke up and went on a walk with one of her friends. The two were at her Hollywood Hills home, walked through the neighborhood, and stopped at a cave to enjoy some local eats, according to reports. Later that night, around 7:30 p.m., Amie met up with friends at a burlesque show. Court documents stated she wore a pink dress and a rosy beaded necklace with a cross on it. After the show, she mingled with her friends and eventually headed home shortly after midnight. When she got home, she sent her final text asking a friend if they could send her pictures of the burlesque show they had just attended. That was around 1:02 a.m. on February 15th, 2020. Moments later, Amie was attacked inside her home. She was on the third floor. Her roommates were asleep on the first floor and woke up to her screaming. The roommate, when he couldn't find his phone, first tried yelling at whoever had been hurting Amie to stop, but he wasn't successful. The roommate then ran outside looking for help. Amie's roommate then ran outside looking for help. He had knocked on two neighbors' doors but had no luck. Eventually, he found someone walking along the street who had a phone on them, and they called 911 at 1:14 a.m. February 15, 2020. The LAPD rushed to Amie's home and found her struggling to breathe below her third floor balcony with severe injuries to her neck. She was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead just before 3:30 a.m. Back at her house, detectives found evidence of a horrifying struggle. Investigators located blood on her bedroom doors and bead from her rosary necklace scattered in her bedroom, leading detectives to the balcony. When questioning her roommates, detectives said the roommate admitted to hearing some sort of loud noise early that night that had woke him up, but he fell back asleep. Investigators believe that noise was Amie's killer breaking into the house several hours before the attack, plotting and waiting for her to get home. A medical examiner ruled her dead a homicide and made notes in the autopsy report that Amie died due to several factors: mandible strangulation and blunt force trauma. 15 hours after the 911 call was made, LAPD detective arrested Gareth Pursehouse, Amie's ex-boyfriend from 9 years prior, on a charge of suspicion of murder. His bail was set at $2 million and he was bonded out 3 days after his arrest on the following Tuesday night. He was rearrested the next day, Wednesday, when he was formally charged with murder and burglary, according to reports. He has been in jail with no bond ever since. As detectives started digging into Amie's past, they quickly learned she had dated Gareth Pursehouse and had filed 2 protective orders against him. The first order was filed in 2011 and the second was filed in 2012. According to the 2012 protective order, Dr. Amie claimed Pursehouse had previously broken into her apartment and apartment complex, sent her unwanted gifts, watched her inside her home from outside through the windows, and caused chaos with children in her neighborhood. Pursehouse also allegedly texted her saying things will get worse and sent threatening emails to her friends. She wrote in the protected order that one time during an argument, Pursehouse physically assaulted her, pulling her out of a car and leaving her with a bloody nose. Amie stated, "He had suffocated me, punched me, and slammed my head on the ground, kicking me." Amie wrote, "He has told me he hit me because I made him so mad and he refused to get help while in the relationship." The second protective order, filed in 2012, expired on April 2015. According to Amie's friend, Amie hadn't seen Pursehouse in years prior to the attack, but a month before she was killed, she saw her ex-boyfriend at a professional event where he had been hired to be a photographer. During a court hearing, the district attorney stated that Pursehouse allegedly called Amie a bitch at the event and claimed she had ruined his life. Friends, family, and investigators believe that the encounter sparked Pursehouse's previous feelings for Amie, leading to a spiral of obsession, ultimately violence. After Pursehouse's arrest, his defense team filed a motion to dismiss the case, claiming there wasn't enough evidence provided at pre-trial hearing to prove he had anything to do with the crime. In March 2022, a judge denied the motion and ordered both the district attorney and defense team to move forward to trial. At an evidentiary hearing, the prosecutor told the judge that DNA collected from underneath Amie's fingernail and one of the doors in her home matches Pursehouse DNA. Officers also found a syringe filled with liquid at the crime scene. While serving a search warrant at Pursehouse home, detectives found an identical syringe with the same liquid inside. Lab technician confirmed the liquid in the syringe was a lethal dose of nicotine. In September 2023, Pursehouse was convicted of the murder of Amie Harwick and faced possible life in prison without the possibility of parole. On all accounts, Amie seemed to have been an ambitious and bright young woman who set out to make the lives of women around her better. Unfortunately, her own life was cut short while pursuing those dreams. My thoughts and prayers go out to Amie's family. May her soul rest in peace. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.